trust your woman's intuition. Please, don't question it. It doesn't need to make sense. A lot of women who are struggling with hormone imbalances go to a sauna, sweat it out. You see those posts on Instagram, like instead of catching feelings, catch a fly. But what we don't talk about is the impact it has on our cycle, on our hormones. Don't take anything personal. It is not about you.
Okay.
It's never been about you.
Yeah. Hello everybody, welcome to episode 3. I'm delighted to welcome you and introduce you to Sultana. Sultana is a friend and she's also the founder of the Rhythm and Rise method. So today's conversation is all about cycles, and Sultana opens up and guides us on how to manage cycles, from everything from your relationships to your hormones to even travel. So I'm super excited for you to meet her, and let's get into the show. Great to chat.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Lovely to meet you again.
Yeah, likewise.
We met last week, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And I really liked your energy. That was the first thing. I really liked you. Were really bubbly. You were so welcoming. You complimented my new surfboard, which was I was a little bit insecure on.
Really?
Yeah,
it's such a good surfboard. It's like bright yellow, you know, like people can see on the wave.
That's it.
What else do you need?
Well, when you're not good, yeah, it's
it'll give you the confidence you need. Do you know what I mean?
It's a little bit difficult, but you talked about a really interesting area that I don't know a whole lot about, and unfortunately not a lot of men don't know a whole lot about. And you've built, I over the last kind of couple of days, I've looked at your Instagram, I've looked at your background, I've looked about what you're talking about online. So, like, welcome to the pod, Sultana. Tell me about yourself. What do you do? Why are we chatting?
Wow. Well, first of all, thanks for having me.
Of course.
I feel very honored. So I am actually the founder of a program called the Rhythm and Rise method, which is essentially a method that I created to help women who are coming off birth control to regulate their cycle and their hormones. So essentially, I am a bit of like a cycle coach, even though I don't really like that term because I think the world doesn't need more coaches.
Yeah, you said that to me as well. And there's a lot of coaches in Santa Teresa.
There's so many coaches.
You can have a coach for everything.
Literally. So I don't love that term, but there is also I haven't found yet the way to describe what I do.
Yeah.
But essentially, I will say I work with women who, and when I talk about women, I really essentially talk about people who menstruate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I work with women who are, to some capacities, either struggling with their cycle or their hormones.
Okay.
Or wanting to know more about it and like how to live according to their cycles.
Okay.
And how to do that from a place of like, I guess holistically would be the term, right?
Yeah.
Using like nutrition and breath and mindfulness and body awareness. And I always talk about the fact that it's like, I think our cycles and our hormones are like a language that our body's giving us. And it's about learning that language.
Absolutely.
So you pick up on the cues and you're like, oh, this is what's going on.
Okay.
This is where I'm at. This is what I need. This is what I don't need, if that makes sense.
How on earth did you start with that? How did you get into that area?
That was a journey.
Yeah.
So I think like most girls, I went on the pill super young.
Okay.
Thinking it was super cool, you know, like I was like, yeah, it's nice to have this little tab of things to take.
What age were you out of interest? Like what age did you?
I was 16 when I first went on.
And it, like, again, basic question, would that be a normal age? Most girls would use pregnant.
Which is horrifying.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't take it because I had, let's say, skin issues or really painful bleed at the time. I really just took it because I was like, oh, I'm 16. All my girlfriends are taking it.
Yeah.
Seems like the normal thing to do. And I went on it for a couple of years.
Okay.
And I would change. Some pills would feel right, but not quite. I had a lot of like side effects until eventually, I think about 8 years after taking the pill, I was like, yeah, no, I have to stop. Don't ask me why. I just had this thing where I was like, I think I'm done.
Okay.
And it all began then because I went through hell. So the first thing was when I came out of it, I was diagnosed with endometriosis, endometriosis.
Okay.
So it's a fairly recent diagnosis, although it has been existing for so many years.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, let's just say, I mean, it can come in many different ways.
Were you 16, 17?
No, I was about 25.
Okay, 25.
Yeah, 25. And, you know, it comes with a bunch of really like complicated things, essentially like extremely painful period pain. It can come with difficulties to conceive. Like it's pretty scary. And essentially at the time, the doctors gave me two options. They were like, either you're going to do a surgery, which you might have to do a lot of, like frequently, or
Is
you
this
have
a
to
common
go back.
condition?
Yeah, it's very common. You'll hear a lot of women struggle with that.
Right.
And the biggest, well, let's say one of the most common symptom of it is incredibly painful periods.
Okay.
Or the other option is to get on the pill, because the pill essentially doesn't either suppresses completely a bleed, so you can go on with a continuous pill and never bleed,
Okay.
or it gives you fake period to give you the feeling that you are regular, right?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, none of these things work for me. Like, that doesn't feel right. At the same time, my body, which had been on the pill for so long.
Yeah. Yeah, almost 10 years at this
Almost
stage.
10 years.
Yeah.
Was going through hell.
Okay.
Losing weight, gaining weight. My skin was flaring up, then clearing up. I was hungry, not hungry. Moody as hell, not moody, not feeling anything, depression, not depression, you name it. I had it all.
And those are difficult ages even without all of that.
It was horrible. And at the time, I remember being in a relationship as well. And my partner at the time really struggled. Because like, it would go up and down. And some days I'd feel good, weeks I'd feel good, and then all collapse.
Yeah.
And I went to see many doctors, naturopath, you name it. Anyway, everybody, the main thing was, it's going to take time.
Okay.
Okay, I waited a year. Nothing was getting better. I was still not getting a proper bleed. I think I didn't even have any for 6 or 8 months.
Okay.
Which is usually not, it's pretty concerning. And so I was like, okay, well, then I'm going to find a way myself.
Sure.
And I went on to study.
Can you describe those pains that you, like, what is that pain like? That, like, what is the, like, if you were to describe that pain, what would that
The
pain?
period pain?
Yeah. When you're having endometriosis.
Oof. That's a good question. I think the way I look at it, and mind you, I don't have children, I haven't not given birth, but I like to think that this is the body showing us what it's going to be like -10, minus, the full extent of what labor is like.
Wow.
But it really is like, I mean, the way I experience it, and it can vary across women. For me, there are contractions. Like I have full-on contractions, and you just have to, like, I guess, learn to breathe with it. But like I can't get up. I can't.
So it's the nearest thing to childbirth. This pain could be
I think so. Yeah, that's how I look at it. I think this is also something to reframe, right? There's a narrative here to reframe generally about cycle and bleed, but here to say, like, I think the pain, our bodies are so ingenious.
Yeah.
And the pain is also here on the one hand to teach us something about ourselves, and to prepare us to some extent on, like, what our bodies as women is capable of doing.
Of course.
So, yeah, I would say it's the closest thing to childbirth.
Okay.
But I haven't given birth, so.
And so you'd had this for a couple of years now, and you waited a year, still really no change, and then you decided to take action yourself. Like what did that look? Where did you start? Like where did?
I started with a naturopathic course.
Okay.
I was like, okay, surely there is a way with herbs. And I was like, if I learn about herbs,
Where does one go to learn about herbs?
Listen, I went on the internet and I typed online naturopathic course. And that was like the first one that seemed legit and that I could get on a call with. And and I had a really good connection with the woman who was running this like online school.
So I meant to ask that as well, Sultana. Like where is home for you? Where is all of this going on for you?
At the time, I didn't really have a home.
Okay.
So that's why I was always looking for like online things, or because I was traveling a lot. I was living in my suitcase. So my base was London. Okay. But I couldn't call it home, and I never have been able to call it home.
Right.
So, yeah, I was like a digital nomad, I guess, in a way,
Interesting. It's interesting. We can maybe talk about it later. But in one of your posts on Instagram, you did talk about travel affecting your cycle and affecting your hormones. Yeah,
Massive.
like
And it's not talked about enough.
yeah,
And we, I think in our generation, in the era now where digital nomad is becoming a thing,
yeah,
and like catching the next flight, like you see those posts on Instagram, like instead of catching feelings, catch a flight.
yeah.
It's
Run
all
away
great.
fly away from your problem.
Literally,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
all great,
yeah.
and it does the thing.
Done
But
that.
what we don't talk about is the impact it has on our
Absolutely.
on our hormones, on the jet lag, the altitude, the cabin pressure, the different kind of foods,
Okay.
different kind of diets, different quality of the food. All of that, it plays a role in our body.
Absolutely.
So if you do it constantly, which I did, yeah, it has a
So
huge
you're
impact.
like, even during all of this time, you were traveling, you were
Yeah.
moving. There's no real home for you, maybe London, and like that was certainly impacting you.
I think that played a role for sure at
Yeah.
the time as well, of like not making it as easy to regulate.
Yeah.
And at that point, mind you, all I wanted was to just be able to bleed, to have a regular bleed, meaning like,
Yeah.
4 or 5 days where I just had my period. That's all I wanted because I didn't even have that.
What's an irregular bleed?
I mean, that's the 1 million question, $1 million question. But I think, let's say a regular bleed is a bleed that happens monthly,
Yes.
more or less around the same length. So generally speaking, we'll talk about a cycle, an ideal cycle of 28 days. I don't think the concept of ideal exists,
Okay.
right? I think it's just how consistent it is and how regular it is. So if it's 24 days, 32 days, within and around that range,
Okay.
and usually a bleed between 3 to 5, 6 days. And that, like, so that would be a healthy,
Okay.
that would be a healthy window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I wanted.
That's the healthy window. And
Yeah.
then going back, you were online, you found this specialist, you looked at herbs, like what happened from there? Like when did you notice change, or how long did that happen?
So I was just learning a lot. At the same time, I got into biohacking,
Okay.
like into really understanding the body. I was like, I can't pinpoint exactly the thing that
Yeah.
but I just was like, at this point, I've got nothing to lose and to experiment with my own body.
For sure.
So what can I change between what I'm learning with biohacking, what I'm learning in this naturopathy course? What also, I guess, simultaneously all of this was doing was helping me drop into my body
Okay.
and feel the sensations. Like,
Yeah.
what am I feeling?
Mhm.
Am I feeling hungry? Am I not feeling hungry? Like, also, I think as a woman at the time, I was obviously struggling a lot with weight fluctuations. So I went on like intermittent fasting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Completely like ignoring the feelings of hunger
Okay.
in the morning, not really knowing why. And sometimes it was harder and I couldn't understand why. Sometimes it was like easy breezy. So paying attention. And then I essentially just experimented,
Okay.
tried a bunch of things, and slowly I was like, it started making sense. I started being like, oh, but if I actually change the order of how I eat my food,
Really?
if I supplement better,
Okay.
if I fast at certain times,
Okay.
if I fast during those certain times for a certain time period,
Right.
if I don't fast, if I don't do certain, like, for example, ice bath or things like that
Yeah.
at certain times, I started seeing.
Is ice bath good or bad for your condition, if you have to say, or for women's cycles in general?
It's a controversial question.
Okay.
For me personally, I think that it's not that they're good or bad.
Okay.
I just think there is a time in the cycle of a woman where it is best to be avoided.
Okay.
And like, so hear me out. Like the week before our period, and for the purpose of this, I'll talk about a 28-day cycle, so it makes
Okay.
sense. Which usually starts about day 21
Okay.
till about day 28.
Yeah.
This is what I call the inner autumn.
Okay.
It feels like fall, right? During this time of our cycle, for us women, there's a lot of things going on.
Right.
We have a massive drop of hormones.
Okay.
And at the same time, our bodies are essentially preparing themselves for a potential pregnancy.
Right. Okay.
And the way it's doing that is it's creating a vital organ every month.
Okay.
It's called the corpus luteum. And it's an organ that, if there was to be a pregnancy, would help sustain the pregnancy. So the way I look at it is like the body's working super hard to give us the opportunity to have a baby.
Yeah.
It's using a lot of energy.
Okay.
Whilst, dealing with the drop of hormones. And we also essentially preparing for a period if there is no pregnancy. There's a lot of contractions in our uterus lining. So there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
Right? And the purpose of an ice bath, right, is to put ourselves through a shock therapy to regulate our nervous system.
Okay.
That requires energy from the body. So if you do this at a time where the body is already doing so much,
that's a
our
real
body
kick.
is so ingenious. They're gonna want to protect us and this potential pregnancy.
Yeah.
So they're gonna it almost kind of creates like an overwhelm. It's overwhelming. And here and there, once in a while, when we don't know, it's okay. But if it's a regular practice that you keep on doing during this time, eventually the body's going to get really strained.
Right.
And what I've seen happen with a lot of women that I've worked with who tend to do this is it eventually stops your cycle.
Okay.
Because it's not safe.
Stops your cycle.
Yeah, it can really it can create anovulation, which is when you don't ovulate. And it's a pretty essential part of a cycle as a woman, because if you ovulate, it means that you can potentially have a baby, right? It's the release of the egg. And if you don't have a period, it can also just stop your period. And if you don't have a period, then you're you keep on being stuck in a cycle where you don't cleanse, you don't let go, you don't regenerate the energy.
Okay.
And so that creates a lot of stagnant energy in the body.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say at certain time of our cycles, if it's something that women like doing, sure, I don't do it at all.
Okay.
But I just would say in the autumn kind of phase and the winter phase, which is when we bleed, I would stay off it.
Okay.
The body really doesn't need that.
I had no idea about that. What about again, I'm kind of sticking in that wellness area because they're very popular, but is saunas the same thing as well, Sultana? Would that
Sauna is actually a good practice.
Okay.
Because we flush out our hormones through 3 different ways: the lymphatic nodes, lymph nodes, the skin through sweat, and through the liver, right? So actually, sauna is going to really help you get rid of the excess hormones, and it's often something I recommend to a lot of women who are struggling with hormone imbalances. Go to a sauna, do it regularly, sweat it out, really activate those different parts, those different sort of flushing mechanisms.
Absolutely.
Because it helps regulate. Because if you don't flush out certain hormones, if you don't flush out estrogen, which is the main hormone at the first half of the cycle, right? Then it eventually leads to very strong PMS, right? So you need to keep on flushing it out. So actually, sauna is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're a wealth of knowledge and you're just pouring it. How many years have you been doing this?
I mean, now it's been
with the business. Yeah.
I mean, the business came later.
Okay.
And I honestly didn't think it was going to be a business, and I still don't know how I feel about it today.
Yeah.
Because who am I?
I get you.
To tell women what to do.
I have read so much about you, and I'm trying to find the note. What is your business called? Or your movement, or how you.
So I call it the Rhythm and Rise method.
Yes, Rhythm and Rise. Yeah.
That's my thing.
Okay.
And then there are different things within that.
Okay.
There is the first step, which is the course that I built, which is that method that I essentially created by means of experimenting with myself.
Yes.
That is an online course that you can, that women can do at their own time. And I chat with them on WhatsApp, and I do one-on-one coaching and guide them through the steps.
Okay.
You know? And this is a 3-month program. And I'd say this is the level 1 or base layer, if you will, or your reset, the thing that you can always go back to if at any point your hormones go a bit out of whack. And then I also do much more in-depth work. So for women who are already really connected to the cycle, it's a kind of coaching to really connect to your womb. And this is more like transgenerational work.
Yeah.
Because our womb withhold so much.
When you say that it withholds so much, what do you mean?
Transgenerational trauma, ancestral thing, like ancestral history, blockages, fears, superpowers, intuition, all of that, right? And so once you've been equipped to listen to the language of your body and to speak that language, you can now then go in and pay attention to what your womb, what she needs,
Being
what
really
she
in touch
feels,
with
like
yourself.
working with pleasure, because pleasure is the center of this feminine energy that we need to connect to our womb, which is our superpower. So that's kind of the second part of it. And then I also work with men.
Yes.
Come to me and we're like, I don't know what's going on.
I'm glad they're coming to you though. That is a really positive sign with
It's super helpful and it's essential because I've seen a lot of men who really struggled and they felt super helpless, and I get it.
Yeah.
Because if we women don't know much about our cycle, right, which you'd be surprised how little we actually do know, then how can men know anything about it?
You had a very good question on your Instagram that the hook, it stood out around the best thing you can ask your partner or a girl that you're seeing is like, where are you at with your cycle? How should you do that? Like how, like if you have a partner, you started seeing one, like how should you approach that question?
So it depends, right? I mean, it depends on the nature of the relationship.
That's a weird shot of
If
life.
it's your
That's a
partner, if it's someone you're dating, if it's like a friend.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
You know, like it really depends. But I think it's just a very casual question. Like it doesn't have to be loaded.
Yeah.
But I think it's super important because it is it's going to affect the interactions.
Yeah.
Right? Like I always say this to men. I'm like, the woman, whether she's your friend, your sister, your partner, it doesn't matter. You're gonna have 28 or however long that woman's cycle is, different kinds of women.
Yes.
In one.
In one.
If you don't ask, you don't know. I think the men biology is a lot more consistent. We're not.
Yeah.
We're cyclical.
So
you know, it depends where.
And that makes you, because you were saying the person in autumn and winter are two very different people.
Completely. Wow. And depending on how early you are in your autumn versus how deep into your autumn you are. How early you started your winter, if you're on day 1, day 2 of your bleed, or on day 4 or 5 of your bleed. If you're close to ovulation or past ovulation, it all changes. And you can really notice it. Like it comes with superpowers and it comes with shadows. If a woman understands this, that's the key. Because then she can communicate that, she can work with her own cycle, whether it's professionally, in the way she works out, in the way she eats, in the way she communicates, in the way she's going to interact with her partner, her friends. You know, if you're aware of that, then you can communicate your needs, you can communicate your boundaries, you can use the gifts that each season gives you. Being aware of the shadows and being aware of what you need to not fall deep into the shadows. And so for men, if they know about it, then they can better support us and better lift us up as well. So it's actually really important.
I'm so glad, because this was like the third part of our of the 4 parts of our conversation. So I'm glad you've like naturally went that way. I still want to go back at the end to where you were, Sultana, around like you had learned all of this information, you were experiencing yourself, you started to feel better in yourself, and what made that jump from the career that you may have been in or what we're in to doing this more and more. But the like for going back to like a guy like and like do you think many couples discuss a women's cycle?
I don't think enough.
No.
Because the thing is, I think either they don't talk about it enough or at all, or it's taken a little bit too lightly, almost as a joke.
For sure, yeah.
Which I'm not sure why. Like, I'm not sure why.
Man's world. Like, it's not, and because men we'd get a month off if we had periods. Like, we would. It is. It's man's world. The rooms are colder for men. Men get paid more. Man flu. Like maybe that's a bit harsh on us, but look, there's shadow sides to being a guy as well, and it's tough being a guy with
And like this is why I wanted to have this conversation, because like even toxic masculinity, if you want to call it that, like the perceptions of what a man should be and how they should communicate. I think all of that is changing.
Yeah.
I think there's a big movement around men really tapping into their feminine energy, being more emotionally aware, being more emotionally intelligent, and like that's why I really wanted to have this conversation. So like you feel it doesn't happen enough, it's taken lightly.
Yeah.
Like if you were, so you're a guy, if there's a guy watching this now, Sultana, or listening to this, like if they wanted to start this conversation or understand their partner more, is there like a couple of things that you would typically tell them to do?
So I would say number one, it's important that the woman who this interaction is going to take place with feels safe.
Yeah, feel safe.
It's
Okay.
deeply intimate. Our cycle is a deeply intimate thing. It's important to feel safe.
Yeah.
Safe to share, safe to be heard, safe to be not judged, right? Because our journey is going to vary. It's unique to each one of us.
Yeah.
Our bodies are unique. I would say that's the first important thing. The second thing is to not take anything personally,
Okay.
which I think is
Don't
like,
take it personally. Okay.
I always say this to all the men I work with. I'm like, number one, that don't take anything personally. It is not about you.
Okay.
It's never been about you,
Yeah.
deep inside, you know?
Yeah.
And the second thing is like, don't be afraid to ask questions. If it doesn't make sense, if you don't know what that is, if it's not resonating, ask.
Yeah. How are you,
Right.
like, and I'm going to ask a dumb question, like, what are those questions?
For example, so, I mean, I like talking about my cycle in terms of seasons, because I think
Yeah, no, I
As
really
women,
like
like-
how you describe that. Yeah.
we're cyclical, we're connected, you know, to nature, and it just makes sense. It really mimics that. So if it didn't make sense, then I would want my partner or the person asking me to be like, so what is your winter? Or like, what does it feel like? A good
Okay.
question is, what does it feel like?
What does it
Talking
feel
about
like?
feeling, not what you think it is. Feel, because it's an embodied sensation, right? It's not like a mind thing.
Yeah.
In fact, our mind as women often wants to like not have a cycle. How many women are you going to see like power through even though they're in deep pain because they have to?
Yeah.
So what does it feel like?
I was even thinking that when you described all the pain and the changes and the different days, I'm like, life is tough enough with everything external going on. Like, how the fuck are you supposed to live? Like,
I know.
job, look good, feel good, be out with your friends, save, like, live life.
Yeah, all of that caring for ourselves when we're in pain.
Yeah.
I usually, and I'm aware that I have the privilege to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But day one, day two of my bleed,
Mhm.
my phone is off. Nobody, like, I'm at home or I'm going to do only the things that are for me, and only a very specific amount of chosen people I can let in to support me,
Okay.
to care for me, to, you know, but I would really back off of anything straining on my body during this time. I cannot.
Can I, like, I want to stay on the topic for men, because the majority of the audience that I have is men, and I do want to, I want to make sure we get the best advice and can see into your brain as much as I can. But just a left of field question, the way you're talking about the stresses on women, do you think that like a woman's life or in society should change then? Like, as in, like how should they live? Because like that, it's just very like doing a 5 day a week job, 9 to 5, like saving,
Yeah.
like partner, like what should a woman's life be if they could have anything they wanted?
I think there needs to be a drop on the expectation of consistency.
Okay.
And hear me out in this. For example, I think like in terms of career-wise,
Yeah.
there is often an expectation that every day you must be consistent in your in the how can I say this? In the task of your job, right? So you must always be, if you're like a public speaker, you must consistently be a
Yeah.
good public speaker. But as a woman, there are windows where we are exceptional public speakers,
Yeah.
and windows where we're not.
Yeah. 100%.
Windows where we are so good at like diving into detail work,
100%.
and windows where we are not. And so being, I think, professionally speaking, like adapting, letting women kind of be like adapting their workload and their tasks
Okay.
to their cycle.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, now, for example, I have like a big conference. I'm going to schedule that at that time of my cycle where I know
Okay.
that I can speak publicly and shine.
Do you know any women that would say that to, like, the example of a conference, or like, hey, Sultana, we would love you to speak next month or do a podcast? Like, do you think enough women respond like, no, actually, that's not the right time, my cycle, can we do it this week? Is that in the public discourse enough?
I'd like to believe yes,
Yeah.
but I'm a believer that like we're starting as women to like speak up about this. Factually though, I'm not sure.
Okay.
And I get it. Like I also get it because I think, you know, society is, there's a pressure. There's a pressure to achieve, to commit,
For sure.
to deliver, and there is still so much disbalance between men and women, especially in the professional world. So we have to like prove ourselves. But I think that's the biggest thing. It's like proving ourselves is not by what we achieve by goals. Like I think that's a very like masculine energy, like
For sure.
goal driven. We function differently, and that doesn't mean that we're weaker.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing that
As a furry friend.
I'm afraid that like would be misunderstood. It's like we are not weaker. We just have a different set of qualities. Again, being cyclical, that makes us us, and we complement each other. But we're not here to match this masculine thing of like let's go and have goals. And that doesn't mean that as a woman we can't have goals,
For sure.
right?
Yeah.
So I'd like to believe that maybe we're starting to do that more. I see it with a lot of my girlfriends who are working corporate jobs.
Okay.
More and more, they're starting to like adjust their own schedule to how they feel.
They were not doing that already.
No. No.
So you just get on with it.
I mean, I'm that really annoying friend, you know, like that's my, it's my job. So I'm like, I call them out and I'm like, listen, like maybe this will be a thing to reschedule later. And I think more and more they start doing it for themselves.
Okay.
So I would say that's the thing, professionally speaking, to drop the expectation of being consistent throughout.
Okay.
And I think the same applies for relationships, whether they're, I think romantic relationship is definitely different than a friendship, right? I think in friendships, we should be able to, you know, flow with that and support each other. But in a romantic relationship, for sure, also dropping the expectations that your partner is going to be the same throughout.
Yeah.
Like the triggers, the sensitivity to triggers is going to come up more strongly at certain times than not. The capacity to communicate and to be a good communicator also changes.
Okay.
Like, for example, the week before a period, which is often what I've noticed men tend to struggle with the most.
The week before.
The week before and the few days of the period. This is often what they come to.
So the when it's about to begin and when it's just started. Okay.
And they'll say to me like, I don't understand. Like, it's impossible to talk, or she gets really triggered, she gets really annoyed, she's super distant, whatever. And I always say like, usually the autumn season, which is that week before the period, not the time to have deep conversations. Not the time to give feedback.
The autumn.
Just not the time.
I am replaying all the relationships in my head of when I've tried to have conversations.
Just not the time.
Because I'm like, I love what you've said. It's not about you, and I would make it about me, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Like I didn't have a big sister.
Yeah.
I didn't learn this in school. I didn't try learn this. That's why when you talked about it outside just there, I'm like, I lit up. I'm like, because this is an area I was blind to. Like I didn't know. Certainly didn't talk about it at home. But wow, I wouldn't have even known that. Like the certain time of year that you can't, depending on the person, but you can't have those kind of conversations.
Yeah, it's just not a time. Like, if you need to have a conversation with your partner about how you feel, something that doesn't feel good or whatever, park it, go back to it, like after the bleed.
What is it like when you're at a heightened stage in your cycle and like your hormones are dysregulated? And stop me if I'm not using the right words, by the way, because I want to know. But like if they are dysregulated, like what is that like what is that like to experience?
I mean, that can show up in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I wish I could give you a marker, but it really varies of what kind of dysregulation we're talking about.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to say. I actually lately been really struggling with that, which is always humbling, I think, in this job, because then I'm like I said earlier, who am I?
Exactly.
Right? To like teach women when myself, I go through my things, but like I definitely noticed that for me at least, and for a lot of my girlfriends who struggle with similar things, it's like our premenstrual symptoms get off the charts.
Okay.
Like whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whether it's mental, and like to have some sensations prior to bleeding, that's normal. Like that is normal and that is healthy. The body is signaling to us that we're about to release.
Okay.
So we need to accept that we might feel a bit more tired, a bit more bloated, a bit more hungry, a bit more sensitive, like our breasts can get a little sensitive.
Yeah.
It's all okay. But when it's heightened, that's where something's off.
Okay.
Like whether it's like massive drop of emotions out of nowhere, or crazy bloating, or really, really sore breast tenderness, migraines, all of that. This is where, so usually it comes around the premenstrual symptoms. I would say that's the biggest thing, because, or the most noticeable one. Because you can also have symptoms of it during your spring, summer, which is around the ovulation phase, before and after. But that we tend to notice it less because we don't always feel if we're ovulating or not.
Okay.
So it would take a lot of like body awareness to know, right? So the most noticeable is around that time, around the bleeds, before and after.
Okay. And this is brilliant. Is there anything else you would like to say to like men that you mainly meet or talk to about this, or looking for advice? Like what would you like to say to them? If that we haven't covered.
It's not a weakness to want to support your woman.
100%.
Through the different phases of her cycle.
Yeah.
It's a way of loving us. And supporting us and being curious and wanting to know and like figuring it out together with us.
Do men know this? Like, do they, like, the majority, like, out of your friends' relationships, right? Like, how many of their male partners are talking about their partner cycles and where they're at?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Yeah.
I would say now for me, like, it's the number one thing that I would look for in somebody that I'm dating is like, can they ask me where I am in my cycle, and are they willing to like be curious about it?
That's not a date one thing, is it?
I mean, maybe not on the first date, you know, but like definitely if you get to know someone, like,
of course,
I want them to
for
know.
sure. It's so intuitive.
Can you be curious about it? Like, are you willing to support me in this? You know, and open up the chat. I mean, how much are you seeing now out there, like podcasts or videos about conscious dating, right?
Yeah.
What kind of questions to ask?
Dated intentionally.
Why are we not bringing up the cycle?
For sure. Yeah.
I'm like, this is conscious dating.
Absolutely.
We have to consciously, like, for example, I recently saw this video about like how to consciously bring up the topic of finances when you're starting to date someone.
Yeah.
Like, well, why can't we do the same about cycle?
I love that. You are so good at storytelling and simplifying a message.
Yeah.
You really, really are. Like, that is, as I get a bit older, like, you realize not that I don't realize I know myself better. I know what I want and don't want, but like these are things that that you should be asking on your dates, or when you are choosing, or you're choosing your partner. Yeah.
And it's gonna ripple, because when a man asks you that as a woman, it makes me feel safe.
Yeah, of course.
I'm like, wow, okay.
Safety
so
is
I can be me, right? I don't have to perform with the expectation of consistency.
Absolutely.
I can say, well, actually, I'm a little bit more tender right now, or I'm a little bit more sensitive, and I actually just would love to be cared for more, right? That safety creates emotional connection.
Of course.
And if there is emotional connection, we can go much deeper. Because the biggest gift that a woman can give, I believe, in a relationship is surrendering to her man.
Yeah. What does that mean to you?
That's a good question. What does that mean? I would say I can tell you what it would feel like.
That's good. Yeah.
I think it
start
would
with that.
feel like a deep sense of rest.
Rest. Okay.
Like I imagine being in this space that would feel the safest place on earth, and I can just rest.
Yeah.
I can drop my shoulders, relax my body, almost let my belly out. You know, I don't have to suck it in. I don't have to look
You
great.
can let go.
And it's safe and it feels holding. And I don't have to do anything or be anyone. That to me is the gift that I could give to a partner when I surrender.
Yeah.
Nothing left to do, right? And just existing as the woman that I am.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that would be I think that's what happens, or that can help happen when we open up about the conversation.
You'd be thinking about all of my past relationships and
right, you look back and you're like, maybe I should have.
the maturity level just wasn't there. There wasn't a want or a need, or like it just wasn't there, like the education piece. And it's very easy for me to say, Sultana, we should learn this in school. We should. But it's
We should know.
yeah, we should. But
For men and women, why is this not being brought up in school?
I don't know. Yeah,
That's a whole new different
I don't
thing.
think it's been brought up enough online as well.
No,
No.
not at all. But yeah, I think it just creates more safety. But it's really also, we talk about men here and how to support men, but I also want to say, like, it's first and foremost our role as a woman to know about our bodies.
Absolutely.
And like you can be
I love
aware
the way
of that.
I love the way you frame that.
Yeah, it's like it's a two-way street, like any conversation, but it's got to start with that woman willing to know about her body, to support her body, to be curious about her body. And if that doesn't happen, then if you come up to a woman and say, where are you at in your cycle? If she's not there, it's not all on you guys. Like, I think that's also super important to put, it's not all on you. It starts with us.
Of course, yeah. Oh, it's a relationship. It's a two-way thing.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And then we can have the conversation. And I've heard so many men come up to me after and be like, oh my God, now I understand so much more. Like,
same.
I kept having this repeating, fight. Now I understand what this is. Or like, I think it creates also a lot of expectation. There is a lot of expectation and pressure around sexuality, making sense of it. Like, you're like, oh, but now I know she's at that time of her cycle. I was, that wasn't matching then.
Even on that, like, how do you have the conversation around intimacy and understanding that from both the man and the woman when you're in that physical relationship?
Again, as a woman, it starts with what you know about your body.
For sure.
So, the more you learn about your own body, the more you learn about your own language of your body.
Yeah,
like, oh, I'm noticing that this is where
you've talked about love language as well with your cycle.
Yeah, it's definitely that. I think there should be questions about what's your love language, depending where you're at in your cycle, because it varies, right? Like, definitely varies.
What could it vary from?
Well, for example, a woman who's around ovulation.
Yeah.
During ovulation, we have estrogen.
Okay.
And estrogen, I call her the Beyonce of our hormones.
The Beyonce of hormones.
She's like Beyonce who goes on a world tour and who like sings and dances and wears those crazy sexy outfits, and she can do all these things, and she's like super feminine. That's estrogen, right? During this time, a love language could be like, for a woman who thrives in this season, right? Because some women might also really struggle with the surge of estrogen, the surge of like femininity energy that basically is looking for a man.
Okay.
Sure.
You are
or like,
on it.
We're
Yeah.
looking for the connection,
Okay.
physical connection with others.
The Santa Teresa of season.
Exactly.
That's where we
And I
are.
would say a love language could be like being taken out on fun days where we get to dress up in the sexy dress that we otherwise don't wear because
Okay.
it feels so good, or being taken out to dance and shine with other people. Like social things, like take us out on social things, take us out on things where we can like wear our sexy outfit. Because this is a prime, by the way, and how we feel in our bodies. Like crazy how the body changes. Our skin is going to clear up.
Yeah.
We don't get bloated. We don't do any water retention. So
You are
we
feeling yourself.
We feel like Beyonce on tour.
Beyonce and tour.
Like, so take us out. Let us shine that. Like, let us share
Go
that.
Beyonce.
Notice it. Give us this opportunity. Versus when I bleed, a love language is like maybe not asking too many questions and just
Okay.
holding us and buying us chocolate.
Okay.
And because, by the way, chocolate during the period, like no comment, it's actually necessary.
Okay.
The body,
Chocolate is good.
it's-
Any particular type of chocolate? Or?
dark chocolate, I
Dark
would
chocolate,
say
okay.
70% or above is like.
Okay.
Then obviously varies on the taste, but it's actually full of good stuff, full
Right.
of magnesium, full of tons of things that actually our body needs during this time. So like bringing us chocolate, cooking us our favorite meal, and letting us maybe eat that meal, watching our show alone,
Okay.
knowing that you're in the room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, like why do we not do that more? Like,
Yeah.
and that's going to be different.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the kind of love languages that you can get in tuned with your partner and ask her,
I love this.
what do you need when you bleed?
Yeah.
What would feel supportive?
Did you say what do you need when you bleed?
Yeah, what do you
What
need
do you
when you
need when
bleed?
you bleed?
What
Yeah.
do you need in the run up to your bleed? How could I support you?
Yeah.
What's a way in which I can be there for you?
Yeah.
Do you want me around? Do you not? Do you want to be held? Do you not?
Yeah.
And just like around ovulation, like what would feel good?
Yeah.
Like this is a great time to like have those conversations.
I like all of these pieces, Sultana. Like that's why like it is good being single, but it's better to be in a partnership, the right partnership. Like
sure.
there is like you want to
sure.
like and you want to be good internally and be okay. Like because no matter where you'll go, there you'll be. But like all of these things, like if you have these conversations as a guy or a girl, like you'll make life awesome for yourself
And
for
you
each other.
deepen intimacy.
Fucking hell.
And I love how Esther
real love.
Perel talks about intimacy.
Love
She
Esther
says
Perel.
intimacy, right?
Yeah.
And
She opened up a lot of like
Right?
relationships and connectivity for me. Yeah.
she really I think she really nailed it when it comes to like how to deepen the intimacy, how to create intimacy, how to open up to intimacy.
Absolutely.
And I don't see why talking about a cycle wouldn't do that as well. In fact, it does even more.
She's a really good course on masterclass. I took it, and it was just about relationships. And I know these things sound so simple, but like, what were your like primary caregivers' relationships like? What was that like? What were your relationships like with your past partners? Like, what were you trying to get from those relationships? Like, these are all. She is excellent, and you are as well. Like, you are.
you.
I mean it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's we all each one teach one, no? Like we're all on this, I say all of these things. Does that mean I do in my relationship?
Of course. Yeah. We're not perfect. Yeah.
I'm not, definitely not. But I honestly would say that the biggest thing, if men could take away something out of all of this, it's like trust your woman's intuition. For goodness sake, please
Yeah.
don't question it. It doesn't need to make sense. It's her gift. And if you trust her
Yeah.
with that, you're helping her.
You like the way you've approached this area. It's because it shouldn't be sensitive, but it is because it's new for a lot of people. So learning something new is always a scary thing, no matter what it is. But you've approached this like conversation like so open and just so open and like
And it can be
such
fun,
for sure.
right?
Yeah,
It can be fun.
that's what I was getting from like this conversation.
Yeah, it's
the
gotta be
relationship.
fun. It's gotta be connecting. Like, I don't know. I would say like to pay attention to the others, right? Like I think if you care about someone, you will notice how they are. If you see that you're, I don't know, seeing this woman and she was super bubbly the last couple of days, and then you've been seeing her maybe the last 2 days and she's a bit more mellow, maybe like pick her in your arms and be like, hey, how have you been feeling lately?
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to know where are you at in your cycle?
Okay.
Or when she's bubbly, like, oh my God, I love seeing you this playful. Like, is this where are you at in your cycle? Adapt to what you see.
Okay.
And it doesn't need to be a heavy, scary conversation. I think a good conversation leaves you feeling mega connected.
Absolutely.
Like, wow, I just got to know her more. And like, as a woman, I would feel like, oh, wow, I really got to know him better because he wants to support me. And if my partner or the guy I'm seeing says to me like, hey, I don't really understand, what does that mean? Like, I'd be like, wow, that's a
Yeah,
green
no,
flag.
it's all about being emotionally mature.
Yes.
Final, because we've been talking almost for an hour, by the way.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I could go on about this for hours.
This has been amazing, Sultana. But like kind of look into the future for you and your, like, you don't have to call it a business, but your next steps. Like, what does the next year look like for you with everything that you're doing?
Oof.
Before we leave.
Well, actually, funny enough, you're asking me this
would you
at
like it
the
to
time
be,
of my cycle where I'm struggling to
Okay.
see forward. So that's a hard question to answer to like right now. Just raising more awareness. I don't know what that's gonna look like. I'm also in a big question around that myself.
Okay.
But just raising more awareness.
And you know, I'll ask this because I've definitely been there around, like, I really want to do something in a particular area, and it's about raising awareness, but like also it's about starting as well. If there's like the next thing you need to do about raising awareness, what would that look like?
Oh, it triggers me to answer that because
Okay.
I'm realizing probably getting back on social media.
Back on social media.
And that is just not how I want to live my life.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay. Interesting.
I don't want to live my life on a phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really don't love social media, but I know that at the time where I was posting and creating content, that's when I was creating momentum and
Getting that
awareness.
momentum. Yeah.
So probably getting back to it.
Okay.
And I'm feeling a lot of contraction in my body as I say this. So this is something of mine that I have to go and explore, like, why?
When you're at a different part of your cycle, will the ideas open up more? Like, is that Beyonce season? Like,
That's
is that a
how
good
we did
season?
it before. I
Okay.
would like wait until I was in the Beyonce season.
How long does Beyonce season last?
That varies depending on a woman's cycle.
Okay.
Like, depends how long her cycle is. On a 28-day cycle, it lasts about 10 days to 2 weeks.
10 days to 2
So
weeks.
it's half of the cycle. It's a pretty
That's
good
a
amount.
fun beyond. That's a big world tour.
It's going to fluctuate,
Yeah.
obviously, especially towards the end. Estrogen starts going down. Once ovulation hits, you get into the summer part, right?
Okay.
That's the relationship to heat is going to vary according to people. It's like here in Santa Teresa, right? It's super hot.
For sure.
Some people are going to thrive. Some people are going to be like, ooh, I need to like take it slow. It's going to be the same, but overall 2 weeks. So
Okay.
I would usually use that time to like send it on the social media posts and content and things like that and editing
Yeah.
so that the other half of my cycle I could take it easy, but I just have to get back into it. So
Yeah.
I'm still working on that at the moment.
I'm excited. Sultana, thank you so much for the chat.
Thank you for having
so
me.
much
It's
for-
been fun.
I'm really grateful to our friend Matthias.
Yeah.
He opened up this conversation, he introduced us, but that was awesome. You
Yeah.
like, I will say, like, when I talk to people, they talk about a challenging time in their life, and if I'm talking to that person, that's okay. But I usually talk to the people who have got through it or are getting through it, and it's literally like the person you described in your early or in your 20s, and that pain and that being lost, to the person now, like, you are exuding energy
Oh,
and
thank
positivity.
you.
So like, yeah.
Well, thank you for having me and thank you for your curiosity. Like,
There's a
really
lot
nice.
of people out there like that, but
Yeah.
come on, give me a hug.
Thank you.
There
Yeah.
we go. That's it.
Super nice. Thank
100%,
you.
man.
I loved
Absolutely.
it.
That's Saturdays.
So fun.
Oh,
Hope it all went well with the sound. I was like really.
I'm getting this on the trailer. This was like, I've done 11 interviews, right? But I think I want to put this third.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow,
definitely,
thank you.
definitely. Oh no, definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this third.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let me know. I'd be super curious if like men watch what kind of questions they come back with or what kind of, because I'm always trying to understand the limitations for
Yeah.
men within that. Like what are they afraid of, or like what is holding them back, or what are the struggles that they're having? Because most men came to me because their partner, women partner, would find my Instagram or find my program and then say, oh, I found this. And then they would then reach out to me
Okay.
and say, oh, yeah, I've been actually really, really struggling with that. Like,
I think you need, I like, again, like my advice you didn't ask for, but like you need to get back on social media. You need to start speaking at conferences.
it's the social media, isn't it? But I really don't want to.
Like there was a guy who I had on this show, Jordan. He speaks with men about, he's an ex-football player. He's huge in Australia, but he speaks with men about being able to be like tapping into their own emotions internally, and that will help with their external relationships. But it's something he does. Like he has like 500,000 followers. Like Djokovic is one of his clients. So like I don't have a big following now, but because of like the group, the Nomad group here and everything there, my phone is popping all the time. And he made a suggestion. He's like, every Sunday I do a digital detox. I fast. I don't go on my phone. And yeah, I need that myself. And maybe that could be a good thing that you can like bake into your cycle.
I think so. I think honestly I could have done, because I was set up really well. You know, I had like a social media team helping me, did a whole plan for me, helping me with content ideas, because I had so many things. I was like, you know, but I think the getting to filming part, the getting to editing part, the getting to posting, and then
you feel it. You get this.
It's like, first of all, filming ourselves. Can we just say how hard this is?
100%. It is, and it's really
Like you're super self-conscious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to look a certain way. So like, I'm waking up. I'm not one of these girls who's like super comfortable to whip my phone out at a cafe. And talk to my camera. That's not me. So I was really struggling with that, and the fact that like, I know that this is all to create reach, but like my Instagram got deleted, so I had to restart it again.
How did it get deleted? You want to know?
It got deleted because I used to live in Uzbekistan.
Oh, okay. Right.
I posted a picture of an imam in a mosque, outside of a mosque in Tashkent, and Instagram deleted my account. Which at the time I was already posting so much.
Do you mind me filming this? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah. And at the time I was already posting videos about cycle. I like had filmed and documented the whole journey of experimentation with myself.
Yeah.
And that I was posting, and I had a pretty big following.
Yeah.
And then Instagram deleted my account.
Like.
And I kind of took that as a sign, and now I'm like starting from scratch, and it's a bit like, do I want to, you know? Like, also, do you have to be consistent? We're talking about consistency.
100%.
You have to be consistent. But we have to drop that expectation that like every Wednesday, every Thursday at 6 p.m., I have to post.
Exactly.
Like, maybe I don't want to post. Or maybe I've got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Where's the boundary with my private life, with not my private life? How much do I want to share? Like, all these questions.
Yeah, I think Austin Butler said a really, really good thing where I'm having doubts about like, first off, like with anything that I've done, it's like the worst part is the thinking about it and thinking about what you will feel or what people will think. And also the worst part is when you start.
Yeah.
For me anyway. And then when I get going, I start getting more confidence in myself and it builds up and up and up. But he's like, embarrassment. He said like at an interview, and I really like it, embarrassment is it's an undiscovered emotion that we don't look at. And I love that. Like like be embarrassed, shoot your shot. Like regret is way worse. At least I tried.
That's true.
At least I tried.
I have a question for you, actually.
Yeah, go on.
If you went through my Instagram and my content, as a man, what would you like to see?
Oh, that was okay. So I did about an hour of reading on you, and I was naturally drawn to the hooks. So
on your Instagram will have these captions about like the sexiest thing you can ask your partner. I clicked on that, and then I clicked on like like I loved your customer wrong word, but you're not customer, but the people that you work with, their testimonials and how great you were. That gave me a great insight into, okay, this is what I can learn from you, but also if we were to work together, then these are the kind of things that Sultana will help in the relationship that I'm in. And then I also loved how human you were in it. Like there was a lot of you like dancing, having fun. It was live. Like, and even in this conversation, Sultana, like you haven't come across as like, you need to say this or you shouldn't say that, or like it was very, so your Instagram projects that. So like if you can bring this,
Right.
you know who you are, and like, and obviously depending on where you are in the cycle, as I've learned, like if you bring that online, like if you're able to talk, like that people see that. I think people, whatever it is, maybe it's heart to heart, but people know when you're being completely you, and you're not putting
That's
on.
what I would want to do.
They do. Yeah.
Okay, that's really good advice. Thank you. I'll know to do that more.
Yeah. I definitely think you're, in terms of a trend, and it should be a trend, like more men having conversations with their partners about this, because look, it's fucked out there. I'm in my 30s now. Like men younger than me can't talk to women. Everyone is on apps. It's fucking high pressured,
Right.
and maybe the older you get for different reasons, for life, like the more the stakes raise, if you look at it that way. So that's what it needs to get back to. Like why, like when you were talking there, I'm like, wow, you get that intimate with your partner, like that relationship will be incredible for both.
Tell me about it. And you know what's funny, for having been in like 2 really serious relationships, none of these 2 partners actually got really curious about my cycle.
Yeah, I wasn't either. I fucking.
And I remember, like, I'm a big fan of like tracking the body basal temperature. That's something I teach women in my program, because it's like the most accurate form. It's like collecting data, right, about your cycle. And on the app that I use, you can invite your partner. And I remember saying to my ex-partner, like, here's the link, fucking follow what's on this app, because I track my sensations, my moods, my hunger, all of it. It's like my diary.
No.
And then we would have conflict around the same time of my cycle. And I've gotten really good at like communicating my needs.
Yeah.
And I would say like, like for example, now I'd be like, I am in my autumn.
Yeah.
Nobody gives me feedback. I am unavailable for feedback.
Okay.
Be kind, be loving, take care of me, or leave me the fuck alone.
Okay.
I am not going to have a hard conversation with you right now.
Absolutely.
You know? And it's like, how it's crazy. Like no partner really asked me that or dove deeper.
Yeah.
Like it really sucks. And like the guys that I'm seeing, they're like making fun of me for it.
I know. I like. Yeah.
And I'm like, but please don't.
Yeah.
First of all, it's insulting, but also like you're missing out, bro. You're missing out.
I definitely are missing out. And that's why I think, in terms of learning pieces for the audience that you're building, I talk to men, to more men about this. Like, men, you are missing out. Yeah.
They're really fucking off.
That is a great way. I'm just gonna press stop. Missing out.